Okay, so now I'm expecting that you are looking at my screen, which is just a background, like, my desktop. And okay, Ian, thank you very much. Ian has confirmed. Yes, Ian can see my screen. Okay, so today we are going to start. So this will be our, let's talk about. I'll just open up the folder, the next folder for us. And okay, so this is our week 5 effectively. So I'll just start a new week because, we will be all having a new discussion. So week 5 we have. And of course, I have shared all the code. If there is something remaining, please let me know. I'll definitely share that with you as well. So this is our week 5. And today, as I said, today we are going to start JavaScript, which is our next thing. Right. So I would like to talk a few things about before we start JavaScript that you have been like, you studied, like you discussed, or you learned Python language in your first semester. And after that, we have switched to this course where we have been discussing HTML and CSS. We have discussed those two components in general. And I would say that they were a bit new for you. They were a bit relatively new concepts, and you did not do something like that in your semester 1. But then the third part of our front end technology, which is very much important, is JavaScript. And what we want to do is that, like, again, as I said, that when you talk about the front end technologies, usually we talk about HTML, CSS, and now JavaScript. Ah, as I said, that HTML was of different nature. There were tags that we were using. CSS was of different nature. There were rules that we were defining. And today we are going to start the JavaScript. Now, a good news is that JavaScript is a language that, like in not in syntax, in philosophy, if I would say, in philosophy, it is very much similar to Python language. You might be thinking that at times when we start discussing JavaScript, you might be thinking at times, okay, it looks like that I have done so much, almost everything in Python, but now here, in JavaScript, you will find a very, very, very different context, syntax. So syntactically, you will find that JavaScript is way different from Python. But in real essence, if you talk about the real working behind, if you talk about the programming structures, if you talk about the different things, you would see that JavaScript is quite resembling to the Python that you have already learned. You know what I mean? So I want to make your mind in the beginning that the things that we will start discussing over here, as I said, you might be finding out, okay, this is something that we have already discussed in Python, and we know about that. But why we are discussing over here? Because JavaScript, as I said, it's a language on its own, and it's so important language, and it's so popular language these days that if you go and find out the language rankings of different sort, you'll find out that they usually they are placing somewhere JavaScript on the very top 2 or 3 languages. In most of the rankings, you will find it at the top as well. For specifically for web development and JavaScript's purpose, where we are basically fitting JavaScript in our syntax as well, because it would be primarily we will be using it for the web development. But interestingly, JavaScript has come out of its shell. It was there for only for the web development side, but over the period of last 10 years or so, JavaScript has gone like out of limits. It's something that is used for I don't know if you will understand or not, For desktop publishing, desktop development, like development of software. So if I want to create something for my system, not for web. And I'll give you an example. For example, if I say that I want to make a calculator, the calculator application is not have something which has something to do with the internet. I can run a calculator application over here. If I want to talk about notepad application, you will say, okay, notepad has nothing to do with the internet. If I say Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, even even Microsoft Office does not have to do anything directly with the internet. It's not internet based. If you do not have internet in your system, you can always run Microsoft Word, Office, and something like that. But now the environment is different since we are using Office 365 online Office. But of course, if you take out like if you have a downloaded version of Microsoft Office, you won't need internet to run that one. So now JavaScript is used to develop such kind of applications as well, which are not web-based applications. So again, uh, primarily JavaScript, like I would call it JS, JavaScript was for, now even I write client side web development. Now, by primarily what I mean, when JavaScript was what first incepted, by first developed way back in late 90s. If you talk about late 90s or very early 2000s, it was, I think, specifically late 90s. So it was for client side web development. Now I have a question. Did I discuss that, or maybe I don't know? You just need to confirm me, because I would like to just discuss that as well. Did I discuss this client side scripting and server side scripting in general and at any point of time in our course? Client side scripting and server side scripting? Kara says don't think so. Anyone else? Kara does not think so. Okay, anyone else? Did I ever discuss client side scripting or servers? Okay, no problem, David. Okay, it means, looks like if two guys are saying, it means that I have not discussed that, and I will. Okay, no problem. I will talk about that because this is very important. I'll talk about that. But first of all, just bear with me and you understand. Okay, primarily JavaScript was a client-side web development language. And as I said, I will be talking about client-side and server-side shortly. But then over the period of last, as I said, last 10 years or so, JavaScript, first of all, JavaScript was started to be used for server side, which I have not discussed. I'll discuss that. Server side web development. Okay. This was an advancement, right? So as I said, remember the real purpose, or the real purpose at the time of development was this one, the client side scripting. At the time of birth, I would write, right? So at the time of birth, it was client side scripting, but over the period of years, like people started using JavaScript for server side web development, which we don't know what is that. And I'll talk about that. So much so JavaScript was becoming popular, so much so that JavaScript even was started to use JavaScript was not what is now used for desktop publishing, or what you call console applications. Now, I would like you to first understand this third statement. Are you understanding when I say desktop publishing or console based application? Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about those applications that run in my device that do not require necessarily internet to run. I'm not talking about web browser. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about a software that might run in my computer. Is that making sense? Glenn says yes. I hope everyone should understand. Then I'll talk about client side and server side. Exactly, they run on local computer themselves. They are not dependent on internet. Mark is saying, okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now let's talk about this client side and server side scripting, which is very interesting, and I hope you will enjoy that. So what I'll do, I'll take my marker over here and I'll show you something very interesting. You know that websites resides on big servers. These giants, Google, Facebook, etc. There are, there are defined servers where these websites reside. Me being a client, being a normal user, I'm a desktop user. Whenever I need a website, I request, this is called, so I will be using very technical terms, and I would like you guys to just remember these terms because they will be very important when we'll be just completing our course. I request a website, www.facebook.com, fb.com, right? This is called technical terms. This is called requesting a website. When I write in my browser, I open up my browser and I write www.facebook.com. So technical terms, people will say, okay, I am requesting a website. Now, I'll just give an example, fb.com for my own good. Just don't take it facebook.com. We are talking about a website. Now, what server does, server, when I ask something, server returns that website to me. And this technically, first of all, what is called? It is called response from the server. It's called response from the server. So I request something and server responds with something. Is that clear? So in a web world, websites reside on servers. When I ask for something, actually I am requesting something and server responds with the data. Now, a very, very, very important concept. The server, when it sends back me the information or any data, website, that website comes to my system and it executes over here, and I see the web page on my desktop. On my screen, I see the web page because server has sent some scripts. These scripts are coming over here and these scripts are executing over here, and I am able to see my web page on my screen. Now, all those scripts that are running over here on my desktop, be it sent by the server, be it they were already there because of some reasons. All those scripts that run on my system over here, they are all called client-side scripts. Client-side. Please bear with my writing. This is client-side scripts. So just remember concept. I don't need any feedback right now. I will be asking for feedback because this is very important and I want you to understand the infrastructure of web. So whatever scripts run on my machine, they are called client-side scripts. Right now, you should understand that there must be some scripts which run on server. There must be some scripts that execute over here. And I'll give you example, but first of all, just understand. So all those scripts that run on server, of course, you should know they are called server-side scripts. Now I'll just repeat that and then I'll look for some feedback, not right now. Now listen about this infrastructure again. Me being a client, me being a normal user, I request a website. Server responds with some website code, with some script. So the script that comes back from the server, I run that on my machine and I see that web page on my system. So when I run this script will be called as client-side script, the script that server has sent back to me because it is executing in my machine. So it is called client-side script. Now, in the process, when I requested something from the server also executed some script, maybe, and those scripts that server executed on its own, they are called server-side scripts. Can I now get some feedback from everyone? Because then I will go to the next step. If I understand, okay, you understand this concept. Can I get a feedback? Wonderful, William, Glenn, Tyler, okay, Mark, I can see Chris. So I'm seeing the thumbs up. Ian, is that making sense? Terence and Kara, I don't see Kara's like thumbs up till now because I can see few users who logged in first. Okay, Ian, thank you very much. Darren says, okay, Darren is Squirrel. Darren, I would like you to just, focus more because, Darren, we are starting JavaScript and it was a point of concern for you last time as well. Righto. So you understand this infrastructure. You understand what is server-side script. So in a easy words, you can say, okay, all those scripts that run on server, they are called server-side scripts. All those scripts that run on client, they are called client-side scripts. I'll do one thing for you guys because, oh, I cannot do that because, I wanted to take a screenshot of it. And can anyone just take a screenshot? Because, I have this marker mode and I cannot select my snipping tool. Can anyone take this picture of this bad drawing? Is there anyone who can just take a snap of my screen? Oh, that's Neil. That's wonderful. Neil, can you do that and share on our chat? Because, then I will make it a part of notes for today. I think there must be some way of doing from my system as well. I don't know because I use a snipping tool, but snipping tool I cannot select until my marker is selected. Anyhow, that's wonderful. Now, Neil, should I delete that? Are you done? Okay, that's wonderful. Someone has already done that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now listen up. Now listen about this one because this was a generic thing. So now I will just talk about that again. So again, that environment, I am a normal user. I am a normal user, and this is a server. Now it would be maybe a neat drawing, something like that. It's a server which resides to all the websites. Now remember, all those scripts that run over here are called client-side scripts. We have talked about they are called client-side scripts, right? And all those scripts that run on server, they are called server-side scripts. Now I would like to tell you something more interesting. So JavaScript, when it was developed, it only was used to run in the client's machine. It does not mean that it used to reside over here. Rather, server used to send the response and the JavaScript was only meant to run in my machine. JavaScript has nothing to do with the server in the beginning. In the beginning, no server applications. In the beginning, if you write it, in the beginning, no server development by JavaScript. You know what I mean? Only client we used to do programming which used to run in my client machine. Nothing to do with the server. Now, as I said, over the period of years, JavaScript started getting mature. Now we have certain codes that are written in JavaScript and they can run on server as well. JavaScript codes that are now capable of running on server as well. You should be understanding this one. JavaScript primarily was not used for the server. Only client development was done. But then JavaScript started to do the server side development as well. Point number 2. You know what I mean? So now JavaScript is also used these advanced days, these days that JavaScript are also used for the server side development. Not only that, I've told you that take your browser out of this picture and you talk about your own machine, own system. And now even JavaScript can be used to make console-based applications or desktop-based applications. Like I can create a calculator, I can create something, and I can just run on my machine, which will not be called as a client-side script. Remember, this is very important. You should not confuse the console applications or desktop applications with client-side scripting. You know why? Because to run client-side script, you will need you will need the browser to run that. But if you talk about the published desktop application, console-based application, that does not require a web browser to run that. I hope I've made myself clear about the JavaScript, and this is a generic picture of that one. Now, another very, very, very important concept related to this one, the same way as we have done. There are two types of websites also. I'll write over here. Websites type. One are called static websites. One is called dynamic websites. Now listen, now I'll make you understand. And again, I would like someone to just take a snap of now what drawing I will be making. Oh, sorry. Now I'll be making a drawing. So this is my server. Now listen, I request a website and suppose it is www dot, for example, my website, novanathi.com, na.com, right? Not any, not applicable. Okay, so na.com. I would like to have a website, novanathi.com. I request that. Again, remember the technical terms. I request that website. What server does, that server has a copy of novanathi.com. So server does not, does not run any typical script. Rather, server says, okay, you have asked for nomanatic.com. I have got that website. I will just create, I will just, have a normal copy of it. I will return you with a copy of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. You get that and you run that one. So the server will send me just a normal HTML, CSS and JS code, and that nomanatic.com will run in my machine and I can see nomanatic.com website over here, whatever website that is there. Now listen about that. I request a website, server sends back the response. Normal response. Server has not done any other scripting or any other processing on its own. Now the second scenario, I'll create that scenario over here. This is the server, right? Now I request for www.facebook.com with my ID and my password. For example, you do that. And you have provided your ID and password. Now, do you know that when you will provide your ID and password, Facebook will have to do some processing over here. Server will have to do some processing. Server will go to the database. Database are represented with these cylinders usually, and I'll show you. This is very bad cylinder. So database, which has your user ID and your feeds stored in there, it will take those feeds back. It will do some other processing. It might take some feedback from the internet, something like that, does some processing, and then creates a temp like that, then creates an HTML page, HTML, CSS, JavaScript page, and sends back to the user. Even though the page is again HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But what is the difference between those two scenarios? Can anyone tell me? What is the difference between these two scenarios? In the first scenario and the second scenario, what is the difference? Do you see the difference is that server executing some special code in my second scenario? In my second scenario, server is executing certain codes. It needs to go to database. It needs to update a new page. It needs to take the result from someone, and then it is preparing the page and then sending me back. In first scenario, like my server never did anything else extraordinary, just took out novanatic.com and just send me back. Exactly, Neil. This is the definition I want to say. So this type of websites are called static websites when server does not do any processing, just returns same information to everyone, same information. So another user came and said nomanatic.com, same website will be returned to them. Another user said nomanatic.com, same website will be returned. This is called a static website. On the other hand, dynamic website is one that will show different content to different users, because when you will log in again, so Alan login, Neil logs in, so Neil will get their feed. When Kara will log in, Kara will get their feeds. When I will log in, I will get my feed. So everyone is getting the new information. These type of websites are called dynamic websites. Now I need a thumbs up from everyone because I have just discussed two more important concepts, static and dynamic websites. So just remember, server does some processing. Server might need to include, I'll give you another example. You talk about there is a hockey match going on. There's an ice hockey match going on or a baseball match going on. Whenever you log into website, would it need to go a database and find out the current score and then show the current score? You know what I mean? The sports website or the weather website. If you look at the weather website right now, it would be showing maybe something other temperature. Then you look at the website, maybe on the middle of the night, you will find some other temperature because it will go and find out what is the current temperature. So what is that example? It would be an example of a dynamic website, not a like a static website. So now if I If I combine that again, my discussion, if I combine that, so in a static website, I get client-side scripts and those scripts run in my machine. In dynamic website, I ask for a website, I request for a website, website runs some server-side script and produces a client-side script and send this to me. Remember, I will still even get the client-side script, but the problem is that there is some server-side script that has run in the way through. Right? Everyone got that? And I think, thank you very much. Neil, you have done that. So you will find that that drawing on the chat as well. And that would be interesting for us. Okay, so that's wonderful. I hope everyone is with me and now they will understand more properly what's going on. So now you understand JavaScript can be used as a client-side development only for the client. JavaScript can be used for server-side development for server applications, for those applications that will interact database, that will interact all those things. And then we have talked about JavaScript can be used for desktop applications, like those applications which are there, which we will use for our for our desktop applications. Enough about the theory. Let's start development. Now, question number one. Of course, I'm very much very much sure that you will answer yes. Everyone has Node.js installed into their machines. Yes or no? We have done that, right? In the beginning, I think we installed that Node.js. Everyone has Node.js installed into their system. And how would they know that? If they open up their terminal and write node dash dash version. Do you get this some version number over there? Just write node in your terminal, write down node dash dash version. Do you get this number? Something this kind number? Okay, can you write down which number? Okay, wonderful. V1416.1. Glenn, you have the same one as mine, right? Good. But everyone can have a multiple version and a different version, no problem. Oh, yes, Glenn is helping you out. No. Cancel it, Karen. It's not prettier. You need to install Node.js, by the way. I'll show you. You need to install this Node.js. Yeah, exactly. That's wonderful. Neil, you are done. You are good with that. So Kara, you need to install this Node.js. I'll share the link. Oh, sorry. This is good. Ian, you are good. And Neil, you are good. Both of you are good. It means that you have got. So Kara, if you don't see this, what everyone can see, Node dash dash version, it means that you don't have Node installed into your system. Kara, you know what I mean? Try that out and install that. And I hope you are using the right statement over there. This is the statement that you need to run. Everyone, Kara, can you update me that you are done? And do we have McKinsey today? Because I have not heard anything from McKinsey today. Oh, McKinsey is there. McKinsey, I have not seen any response from you today. I hope everything is good with you. Good, Kara. That's wonderful. You are DL. I am DL the node. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, no problem. So, David, I'm not making sense of your statement. I am DL the node. Can you just explain that? Mackenzie, no issues. Now you are there. Okay, you are downloading the node. Okay, no problem. Oh yeah. Okay, thank you. So you're downloading the node. Okay. These short forms have made, yeah, David, these shorthand, you need to learn them so quickly because, otherwise you just, keep on guessing what is going on. Mackenzie, you don't need to do that. You just check that if your node version is working. That's wonderful. Okay, Kara has it. Kara, now you see that node dash dash version. And Kara, by the way, you can just restart your Visual Studio Code because that would be wonderful. Sometimes Visual Studio Code does not get updated. So you close your Visual Studio Code and then open it, then you will see that one. Maybe if you are not able to see that, that's what I'm telling you. Okay, so should I understand that now everyone can see this output node V? Kara, you might see V18 something because now the latest version will be installed. And me and like those guys those installed before that, they are getting 14.16.0. But that does not really matters. Don't worry. But we need to have this node installed into our system. That's wonderful. 14.18.0. That's wonderful. So Kara, I'm just moving forward. Should I? Because I'm about to start coding now. And I'll tell you how to run these files and something. Okay, that's wonderful. Now see here, I will come over here. You should also do that in your folder and create a file and you can call it anything. I'm calling it script.js. So I'm writing my first JavaScript code today. Script.js. You might get a different icon. Don't worry. I have some themes applied to that. Script.js. The extension should be .js. Okay. Now I'm writing my first program. Just follow me up, write console.log. Hello, everyone from JavaScript. Hello world, right? And write a terminator in the end, like, semicolon, and hit save. Our first program is done. How difficult it was. First program, console.log. Hello, everyone from JavaScript. Now, now please listen. I want to run this JavaScript code. How to run this JavaScript code? I'm going very slow. I will come over here and I will write node space, the name of the file. What is the name of the file? Script.js, node script.js, and hit enter. Now I would look for thumbs up that you have run because sometimes some guys will having problem. How many of you see the same output as mine? Like, when you hit the enter, you see hello everyone from JavaScript. Can I have thumbs up from everyone who can see that? Tyler, thank you. Glenn, thank you. Mark, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, David, that is another way. You select it from the view and terminal would appear over here at the bottom. I'm waiting for other thumbs up. William, I have not seen your thumbs up. Ian, Chris, Terence, by the way, I have not seen your thumbs up. That's wonderful. Chris, good. You have also run that one. Okay, Neil, but what is the hindrance like? Why not you are able to run it? Because it should not take so long. And don't worry about yeah, you are right. It's Monday. Okay, William. I know what's happening. William, uh, close your Visual Studio Code, like close it from the and then open it up. Yeah, exactly. Ian, you need to be in the folder. That's what I was saying, that there will be some problems occurring. Remember, you should be in that folder where that file is. This file is in week 5. So you need to be in that folder if you want to run. Ian, that is the problem that usually guys see. That's why I was just stopping here. And that's why I'm waiting for everyone to have some. Neil, okay, you had a problem in creating new file. So Neil, is that done now? Because I don't want anyone to leave behind. JavaScript is, you know, last semester as well, students started feeling unrest after JavaScript. So I want to be very sure this time that everyone is with me. I don't want anyone to leave behind. No problem. David, would you mind sharing your screen? So David, would you like to share your screen? Sure. Okay, no problem. I'm stopping sharing and you can share your screen. And please remind me after after we are done, because I always forget to share my screen back. William, now it is registered. Like you can see that. Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, I know what's going on. I know what's the problem. Uh, so David, do you see that? Okay, so do you see that in lecture codes folder, you have a folder week 5. Under that, there is a file. So write CD here, CD.
Yes, right here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you need to do CD week 5. You need to go into the week 5 folder first. Week 5. Yeah, hit enter. Okay. Um, are you sure that you are using the right?
You can hear me all right here now?
Okay, just give me a second.
Okay.
I cannot hear you. Can you say something again?
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are not. Yeah.
Good. All right. So CD week 5. Now, should I have like a dash or something to connect this here?
No, as you see, okay. Yes, can you type ls over here? Ls like list. Yes, just hold on. So you have yes, there should be week 5. Okay, so how on Mac, is there any difference to change the directory, or is it same CD week 5? Because
Should be
looks like
the same.
sorry.
We took this last year in our last semester in Python, and it should be the same, I believe.
Yeah, so just again write down CD and then okay, yeah, week 5, hit enter. Okay, no problem. Can you go to your in your file menu, as Ian is saying, go into file menu, like
Okay.
up on the top, yeah, and open folder, yeah. Now just wait. And from here, which folder is that? Is it week 5 folder? Where, yeah, week 5. Select that folder and it's inside May 30. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Hit it. May 30, click on May 30.
All my JavaScript's outside of that folder. That's the part of the mistake or the issue.
Okay, no problem. I think your script file is inside week 5 or May 30. Can you tell me?
It's in week 5. I intended
Okay,
it to be inside May 30, and it did. It was generated outside.
no problem. Can you just go back and just select week 5, like week. Oh, okay. Open folder. No, no. Okay. Yeah. Now open folder again and go to your okay week 5, May 30. It's inside. Okay, that's wonderful. Now open folder. Now listen, this is a very interesting one. Now open terminal, like terminal. That's good. May 30. Yeah, it's wonderful. Now write node space. No, not JS. Node script.js. Script.js. Our file name is script. Yeah, exactly. Hit enter. Wonderful. Your file is running. You know,
Thank
you
you.
are not in the right path. You know what I mean, David?
I do, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you understand that where should be my file and where should I do that. That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing your screen, David. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen back. Okay. Now, I hope you can see my screen now, everyone. Now, yes. Is there a way to run this outside of terminal? Yeah. So outside of, yeah, I'll talk about that. Yeah. So this is the first way of running. So I'm just, I've just written down the first program, and now how to run JavaScript. Now, we have talked about by using terminal. And by the way, let me tell you, when we are using it to run the terminal, and I will just, name them, number them. 1, 2. I'm giving these numbers to the previous topic, and then I'll show you. By running into terminal, actually, I am running it on my machine as a console application. Number 3. Ian, is that making sense? When you run it by using terminal, you are actually running it at a console application. It's not a web application till now. It's just a console application. It's a machine based as you used to run your Python code. It is just running as the Python code. Ian, is that making sense? This is the first way of running this one. Should I hope everyone is understanding? So when we run this through terminal, it is basically that we are running it as a console application, as a desktop application, as you used to run your Python code. Now, by using browser, how you would run by using browser? Now let's talk about something very, very interesting. I'll come into my again week 5. I'll open up a file and I'll call it index.html as we usually do. Oh, okay. William, your code is not executing. No problem. I'll show you that. I'll see that. Okay. Front end development. Okay. So William, would you mind sharing your screen by the way for a second? Again, because we will be better able to see, not through picture, but rather your shared screen. Will you mind sharing your screen? I've just stopped sharing my screen for a second. Okay, so William, now show the Visual Studio Code. This is your, right now we can see your teams. Okay, that's wonderful. Now, William, are you sure that your folder is correct? Can you go to your file menu again? Open folder, same thing that we have done with David. No, file menu. Yeah, file menu up on the top, and open folder. Yeah, and just from here, select that folder where you are working right now. What is that folder where your files are? You are inside in QAP. Okay. QAP front end development.
Yeah, I didn't create a week 5 folder. I just went into the QAP.
I understand your problem. Can you hit save Control S on your file console.log? Can you click on the file? Yeah, and hit Control S. Good. Now run the file. Terminal. And you can use arrow keys to go to the last statement, by the way. No need to type always. Wonderful.
Okay, got it.
William, you did not. I think you did not save that, right?
Yeah, I got.
Okay, wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, so now what I was saying, that now create an index.html file. And you remember we used to create this HTML file like this, of course. HTML is very familiar to you. And I will call its title as running JavaScript. So how to run JavaScript in the browser? Now we are looking at that one. Now listen, I'm telling you one way of doing that, and later on I'll tell you that how we can just. So after title, you remember we used to link our like style sheet as well. Here what we need to do, we need to write a script src. Select that one and write down script.js, the name of the file that I have created, script.js, and hit save. Right, everyone? Now I have attached the script with my HTML page. Now I will run this HTML page and show where JavaScript is running. So this is my page, which does not show, of course, anything. So if I go, why? Because I have just in my JavaScript file, I have just got console.log hello, just console.log. And console is not visible on my never on my screen of web browser. Rather, if I want to see the console, I will have to go to inspect. In my console, do you see hello everyone from JavaScript over here? I'll refresh that and I'll clean that one and refresh that. Do you see hello everyone from JavaScript over here? And not only that, it is showing script.js. It is coming from the script.js line, which is script.js, which is attached to my website. Can I get a thumbs up from everyone that we have run our JavaScript in the browser as well, which is not doing anything right now, just showing a message over there, but in console, I can see in console that message. So this kind of work like a command for HTML, or does console have another purpose? Oh, Ian, console has a very important purpose. We will be checking on, console typically is used for debugging purposes mostly. We'll be using debugging in console. And I will tell you, just right now, consider, okay, console is one part of it. And if you are really curious enough, I would like to show you something. Go to your script file and write alert, which is not very much. Okay, David, I'll see that. I'll see that. So write down alert and write down hi, I am JavaScript running. Hit save to your website, with your script. And you will see that now your web page will of course refresh and you will see a pop-up over there appearing. So this is coming from the JavaScript file. No, Glenn. Your question is, does the script always have to be nested in the head? The answer is no, big no. Rather, mostly we won't be placing it in head. A script can be placed anywhere in the body. To answer your question, Glenn, I can cut this from here, I go to the body and I go to the bottom and I just do that. Still, it will work the same. You see, it is working the same. And what I've done, I've just done alert. And alert is the message that appears on your browser. Right? I just showed it that JavaScript is running behind. Now, okay, if you do it, okay, and I remove this alert, or I'm just leaving this alert for those people who are looking at. Okay, David, still having problem? David, would you like to share your screen? David, share your screen, and I would be able to able to. Yeah.
You bet. All right, here we go. All right.
That's wonderful.
Okay, and I'll just drag this in here. Just give me a second.
Okay, and show me the inspector.
Okay.
Okay, console. There's nothing in console?
No, and at first I was getting an error message, so I closed and restarted the live server. And
okay, no problem. Can you minimize it and show me the code? Show me your HTML code, by the way. HTML code.
Okay, I probably didn't link something, I'm guessing.
Yes. Now hit enter over here and write. No, not link. No, you missed that. It's not link. It's script.
Okay.
It's a script and src. Select the. No. You just don't wait for my delete.
Sorry,
that.
I'm getting all excited here.
Yeah, Now again, write a script and wait for me. Script and select the second one, script src. It's an easier one. Otherwise, you can do that by yourself as well. Okay. Now here, it's in the same folder, so you can just write a script.js. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Now save that and show me your page, like running page. Browser. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, and you'll get the alert. Why don't you get the alert? Because there should be alert as well. Can you show me the code back, like the JavaScript code again? Yeah, script.js. Can you show me? Alert, alert. Why alert is not happening over there? But anyhow, we'll see that. But your code is running. You can just remove this alert, by the way. Can you refresh that here? Yeah. Oh yeah, here's the alert, right? This is called alert message. Hello, I'm Jais. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. David.
Thank you. I'm a needy child this morning.
No problem. David, by the way, I would love to have these questions right now because I don't want you to be lagging behind from anyone. And please, 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 if you are having problem, stop me. I will just give you a time separate. I'm talking to everyone, by the way. It's not for the David only. For David, it's for everyone. Whenever you feel that uncomfortable, I will stop there. No worries. Now, I would like you to just, just for the purpose of showing you that it was running, I just showed you. And now I'm just making it back to that one. And now I have this which one, and it is just showing me hello from JavaScript. And again, I'll talk about this alert and everything later on. Now, we have run JavaScript now two places by using the browser. Now there is another there is another way of running your JavaScript that is called REPL. Evaluate process loop. This is a terminology that is used. What is REPL? REPL is something very interesting. It's a sort of, it's read evaluate process, but it is rapid checking of the JavaScript. If you want to run some JavaScript, and you remember when we were doing CSS, I showed you that if you want to run rapid CSS, you go into the terminal. You remember we used to go to over here and we used to apply some style and rapidly check that. In the same way, we have multiple environments that we can use for REPL environment to check JavaScript. And how that would come, a very interesting way. REPL is also at two places. Interestingly, REPL is also at two places. REPL one, you will find REPL in terminal. And second, you will find REPL in browser. And I'll show you. Read evaluate process loop quickly. Now, if you come to your terminal, the first part, terminal, you come over here and write node and hit enter. Node, nothing else, just node. Hit enter. Do you see my cursor has changed to something else? Everyone can see that. Your cursor says welcome to Node.js v14, v18, whatever you have. Type .help for more information, etc., etc., etc. Does everyone see this? What I see here? Just typing node and hitting enter. If you just type node and hit enter, you will see this screen. Wonderful. Okay, listen. This is a REPL area. Rapid evaluation. Now, what does that mean? I can write console.log hello from terminal REPL. Enter, you'll get the output. You write 2 plus 2. You remember now you will be remembering the, you will be remembering your Python as well over here. You remember you used to do this in Python. Okay, so you say, okay, 5 minus 3. Get the answer. Okay, just write down console.log. It is fun to program in JavaScript. You know what I mean? So you can just, run quickly. You can run your JavaScript over here. No need to run a program, write a program and then save that. But again, this will be all non-permanent. It will be just temporary. It will just execute all the statements and you go away. And if you want to go exit out of it, hit Control C, you will be out of that one. Control C twice, you will be out of that one. Everyone has done that. Now, where is the browser REPL? Now, let's talk about the browser REPL. I'll go to browser. I'll go to the console. For the time being, I'm just clearing this one. Here, this is called browser REPL without anything. If I come over here and I write console, I write hello from browser REPL. Are you getting that? And for browser, I can check the same that I told you. If I write alert, hello from REPL, hit enter. See here on top of my screen, see what is happening. I get the alert over there. You cannot run alert in console applications, by the way, remember, this is a browser related. But anyhow, you know that when you are running in the browser. So this is also called REPL, and I can use this in the same way exactly as I was using there. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. 6 minus 23 is equal to minus 17, whatever. And this is a REPL. Should I hope that everyone is aligned with me and you are understanding what we have discussed till now? This is just the basics, the beginning. And if you get familiar with all these kind of things, our second session today, we will just, jump into some real programming. Yeah. So in browser, Ian, in browser, what you do, you just right click and go to inspector and go to console. So this is coming over here. This is called a REPL over here. This is just a REPL over here. You know what I mean? This is just a REPL. And if I come over here and I write console.log, I can write console.log and I can write hello. You see that I will get a hello. I'll tell you something very interesting. Console has so many interesting things. If I say console.warn, be warned, we are learning JavaScript just for the fun, So if I just hit that, you see that it appears as a warning. Yeah. No command. Even console.error. So console has so many interesting things that we can run over here. Console.error. Made a mistake, something like that, So console has so many interesting things I can run over there. You see, it is coming as an error. You made a mistake, something like that. Interesting, isn't that? So this REPL is very good. You can quickly check your code. You can quickly run your code and see, okay, what mistake I've been doing. Yeah, exactly. So I'm stopping here, but I'm hoping that hopefully everyone now, because we had very nice discussions related to static and dynamic websites. We had very nice discussion related to client side script and server side script. We had a very nice discussion related to desktop application and console based applications. Then I talked about how to run JavaScript. You have seen by running terminal, we are running as a console application. By running in the browser, we are running as a web application. By running REPL, we are just running as a rapid compiler that is running my code and just showing me the output. Should I stop here? Like I'll be stopping here. And in our second session today, I would really start some cool JavaScript programming. We have not started, of course, JavaScript programming, but now we know that we can connect it with the HTML. So whatever code I will write here, when I run my index.html, that would be running on behind. Okay. So, okay, you are talking about this 4 and 2, Neil, are you talking about this 4 and 2? That they are coming yellow?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. When you type node, it's a nice yellow color, but mine is just a plain text color.
Okay, so don't worry about that, Neil. Usually, what I show you that when you have a number or something that is specifically when you have a number, it comes in yellow color, and when you have, let me show you. When you have a string, for example, if I write console.log and what's your name, for example, Neil. And if I just hit that one, you see that Neil is coming in the white color. Don't worry about that coloring. Usually it means something, but right now just don't worry about that. If it is not coming in any color, you are done. If you are getting the outputs, exactly the same outputs, you are good to go. Neil, you know what I mean? So you are good to go, no problems. Okay, thank you very much everyone for joining in, and I hope you enjoyed today's lecture. And I will just go from this part, and now we'll just start doing some behavioral thing, and my website will be acting upon that behavioral thing. Take important notes of that one, and not only that, of course, before going back, what I'll do is that I'll share my files over here in my chat. In our class chat, I will share the files over here. Code files. And by the way, I won't share index.html. Hopefully, it just have a script line. I'll just share that line. Code files here. So not code files for the this week's files, and I will just share those files over here. Any questions from anyone? I would be happy to have your questions if you have any. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll just cancel that because I would like to rename my notes file because that's very bad. I'll just rename my notes file. I'll say notes.js JavaScript, right? So that it gets updated quickly. Okay, so where are? Okay, so I'm just sharing my files over here. Okay, yes, thank you very much. It's not allowing me to connect. Anyhow, I'll just see that and I'll share that one. And I will upload that on our week 5 folder as well over there.